everyone, I'm John Loegering. This is my installment of our Meet the Teams video, just to give you a chance to see a little bit more about our various team members and give you a sense of who we are and where we live. I'm coming to you today from the banks of the Red Lake River. My backyard, you can see there, is in the background. I live right here on the river, which is a fantastic opportunity to watch nature and really to watch hydrology in action. Whether it be the summer low flows or the spring flooding, there's always something changing with respect to the river system. I'm a little bit of a unique employee in the sense that I live here in Crookston. I have a joint appointment between two campuses of the University of Minnesota. So during the academic year, I'm a college professor. I teach courses in things like ornithology, mammalogy, wildlife ecology, occasionally a fisheries course, and a few smattering of other things. I also, do typical college professor sorts of things. I advise students, I advise the student chapter of the Wildlife Society, I participate in campus governance, that sort of thing. So it's all kind of typical college professor sorts of things. I'm also a wildlife specialist with the University of Minnesota Extension, where I contribute wildlife-related content to a number of different programs. For instance, I contribute the wildlife components of the Master Gardener program. I also work with various forestry-related programs. I contribute to the vertebrate pest management components of Extension's pesticide safety program. So I do a lot of different things, but my home team is the Fisheries, Wildlife, and Conservation Education team, where the Master Naturalist program resides. And with that program, I do all sorts of things. You may have seen me perhaps at one of our annual conferences, or also you could have even been a person who's taken biome courses that I co-teach with other members of my team. For those who know me, my passion is in birds. I regularly participate in a number of different programs that sort of help either to conduct research or contribute data to programs that are dedicated to the conservation of birds throughout North America. For example, I run a map station that's monitoring avian productivity and survival, where we ban birds 7 to 10 times during the summer, and then look at at survival, at recruitment, at those sorts of things. So that's an active research project. I also participate in the federally organized breeding bird survey that is one of maybe 3,000 different routes throughout the United States and Canada, and they are assessing breeding bird numbers, and they have been doing so since the late 1960s. So I contribute to that program. And you could also find me during the Christmas holiday period, leading citizens out during the Christmas bird count. Just a couple of examples of how I do things both for a research aspect as well as kind of engage a little bit in the citizen science aspects. On a personal front, I live here in Crookston, where I live with my wife, who creates wonderful pollinator gardens out in our front yard and side and backyard. We also try to share our home with wildlife when we can, like the robin nesting here on our front brick. Personally, I live here in Crookston, Minnesota. We're in northwest Minnesota, again 90 miles from Canada, 25 miles from North Dakota. And I thought I'd give you a sense of where I live with a bit of trivia. For instance, for those of you who've ever been here, you know that it is flat. I mean, it's not just a little bit flat. We live in the glacial lake bed of Lake Agassiz, and it is the bottom, which is a very, very horizontal surface. In fact, over the course of the Red River Valley, the slope is planar, so like a tabletop, and tilting slightly northward, or down slightly northward, with a slope of about 6 inches per mile. For those of you who have a perfectly flat pool table at home, you can achieve this slope by simply lifting your pool table and inserting the thinnest piece of paper you can under one leg. That's how flat our environment is, which has a number of different ramifications. One of which is it makes pretty darn fine farmland. Not the focus for me as a naturalist, but certainly the agricultural folks certainly enjoy that. Another couple of things, since I'm up here in the corner of the state, I could offer to contrast it with my fellow colleagues in Minnesota. I'm in the northwest corner, so compared to my friends in the northeast or southeast corner of the state, we get a full 12 or more inches fewer inches of precipitation every year. So that has impacts on our vegetative growth and that sort of thing. Obviously it's colder as you get farther north. We all know that. But what most folks and visitors to northwest Minnesota notice is the wind. In my free time, my wife and I certainly enjoy getting out in the in the wilds of northwest Minnesota. Whether it be visiting a state park, federal landscapes. We have Glacial Ridge National Wildlife Refuge, which is one of the largest wetland and prairie restoration areas, only about 20 miles from our home. And really enjoying all sorts of outdoor sorts of things. I certainly like to go birding and hiking and camping and pretty much anything I can do to get out and enjoy our wonderful natural environments. And as tradition with these Meet the Team videos, I'd like to introduce you to any of our pets, but we don't have any at the time. We're currently between pets. Our last one was Lucy, a wonderful bird dog and a great companion to take out on those hikes that we talked about, certainly in the fall when I enjoyed a little bit of game bird hunting. So that's a little bit about me. I look forward to meeting you sometime soon in the future, and I hope you have a great day.